First of all, I'd like to introduce Maggie Mann, who's going to give an introduction to the seniors' guest speaker.
Mr. Braden is a favorite of the class of 2009 and has been ever since he first began teaching us U.S. history in 8th grade. He has been with us for 5 years, and we are the first graduating class that he has taught since the beginning of his time at AIS-R. He knows each and every one of us, whether it be through history or ITGS class, or the table tennis and softball teams. We are sure that his speech will emphasize his fun-loving spirit that we know and love. This is why we have selected him to address our class today. Please welcome Mr. Braden.
I've been here for 5 years now. Most of you I've known since 8th grade. I think the first thing I'd like to say is, I can't believe you guys are leaving. It's been 5 years. I'm honored that you chose me to come to speak to you today, especially after 5 years of seeing me around and attending my classes. One more speech from me I thought would be the last thing you'd want. But here we go. I'll try to get through this without shaking or breaking down. And thanks Student Council for showing me the trick about the microphone. As I've watched this class grow and mature, I sometimes forget that it's been 5 years since most of you walked into my classroom. I don't remember that first day very well because I'd been in country for less than 24 hours, but I did collect a few memories with the help of some things that happened that first year that just kind of set it out in my mind. I switched rooms 3 times that year, and you guys found it every time. I had this permanent smell of coffee and everything. Rishi's paper on the history of pickles. Great one. And let's see, where'd she go? Oh. Krista's experience at the Eat Compound pool. Something about clicky pens flying across my room, teaching from the top of my desk, or other people's, the pink eye epidemic that year, Mr. Reck and Mrs. Williams. Every class beginning with SSR, and almost as many classes having math homework. The middle school activity day, and then not having a voice for 3 days afterwards. And one thing that really stood out to me at the end of that first year was how nervous you guys were to walk down the hall into high school. When I think of all the assignments we used to do, from reading To Kill a Mockingbird, or making posters, timelines, analyzing Dead Poets Society, or you guys having to listen to my taste of music, it all seems so easy to me, although I'm sure it didn't seem that easy to you at the time. I remember seeing you in the halls of the high school before I moved up to the high school, and thinking you all had changed so much. That first year when you guys were in 9th grade down the hall, you were so tall. You've all grown so much. And now I look out at you and I see that you really have changed. You've gone from being kings of the middle school to lowly 9th graders, and here you are, kings of the high school again. And I think it's truly special that you guys are here today for this kind of a ceremony just for you. As high school students, the work got a little more complicated, the hours a little longer, and the pressure probably felt like it got a lot greater. And I'm afraid that at some point I might have been just a little responsible for some of that stressful moments in your academic lives. And for that, I do not apologize. I think I speak for most all of your teachers when I say that our ultimate goal was not to teach you Pythagorean's theorem or which empire came after which empire or math formulas, but I think our ultimate goal is to get you ready for college. And hopefully that when you get to college, you will say to yourself, holy mackerel, this is easier than I thought it would be. Hopefully we taught you the really valuable lessons in life. Things like how to meet a deadline, work with others, take responsibility, fail, succeed, say please and thank you, and most importantly, say may I, not can I. I do have good news for you about your journey to university, from where most of you are headed now. It's nothing like high school. That's the good news. You have more freedom, more control over what you do, what classes you take, when you take them, how you take them. More on that one later. Opportunities to explore your world. The bad news is it's going to be a whole lot harder. It's going to be a whole lot more work. And with more freedom comes more responsibility. And as many of you, some of you know, some of you don't, with that comes doing the things that you know are right. And hopefully your parents have guided you well on that part of your journey. I don't know, I think I speak for the rest of your teachers when I say that most of us will worry about you constantly for your first year of college. Make sure you survive it. Please come back and see us. We appreciate knowing that you're still around and that college didn't get the better of you. And speaking of that, as some of you do know, some of you might not know, after my first year of college, I got a nice letter in the mail that said, "Thanks for your money, don't come back." And it's true. I failed out of my first year of college. Bad academic marks. They said, maybe you need to think about it and try again. And so I'm not proud of that time in my life. I think that it taught me a great deal, and I'm here to share some of that with you. This is not advice. This is not a lecture. It's just what I went through. And if you get something out of it, I hope you can use it when you get to university. First and foremost, with that freedom, you get to pick your schedule. And one of the great things is there's no attendance when you go to class. So Aldrin, that's the last award like that you're ever going to get. There's no detention if you miss class or skip class. There's no hurrying up to somebody's room for a lunch detention or anything like that. However, it sure is easy to just kind of roll over in bed in the morning and go, there's nobody taking attendance, so I'll just miss today. And then pretty soon missing today becomes missing this week. And then, gosh, I've missed so much now, there's no point in going now. The hard part is the stuff you learn in college comes from the classroom setting. Yes, they will give you readings. But when you get to those exams, if you have missed class, you will fail class. Trust me. Your parents may not like this one, but my advice to you would be to take easy classes your first year. Don't stress out taking every class with the word ology at the end of it. Avoid the science classes with labs. They take up a lot of time and a lot of work. Your first year is about getting your feet under you and figuring out how to do laundry and make your own food and which roommates you really didn't want to get stuck with for next year. You have plenty of time for those harder classes later. One of the nice things about university is you can choose your teachers. And I know over the last several years, there have been times when all of you have said, "Geez, I wish I could have a different teacher for this class." And that's going to happen. You will have professors you don't get along with. But you also have the choice to choose teachers you want to take. Ask around, find out which ones are the good ones and why, if they meet your learning styles or not. Take those opportunities and use them. Ask questions and use office hours. You are nothing but a number to those teachers, those professors, until you introduce yourself to them. And once you do, then they take an interest in you, if you show an interest in them. Your friends that are sitting next to you and around you are going to change. You will lose touch with some of them. Facebook is not a substitute for personal interaction. Skype each other, call each other, try to get together in summers, vacations, holidays. Don't lose touch with your friends. The second year is better than the first one, but not by much. You still have lecture halls, labs, and classes that have nothing to do with your major. Stick it out. When you get into the classes that are about what you're interested in and what you're passionate about, there is nothing greater than that. In my case, it was going to classes where the textbooks were about this thick and you had 7 of them. And it was great. It was history and I loved it. If you get a great bio teacher and you're into biology, you're going to love it because they love it. And I hope you can stick it out long enough to find those teachers and find those classes. If you do, you'll never want to leave university. It's wonderful. Your beliefs will be tested, your morality, your spirituality, all of it. Stay true to what you know is right. hate to tell you this, but your parents were probably right in all the things they told you along those lines. Listen to them. For you better or for worse, you're on your own. Which leads me to my last point. Parents. They're probably driving you crazy right about now. You're probably saying to yourself, why are they behaving so oddly? What is going on? They're more conservative and stricter than they've ever been in my life. Don't they know I'm trying to get out of here? And as one student said to me the other day, it's as if their parents were trying to make up for the last 16 years in the last 2 weeks. But that isn't it. In fact, that student had it exactly backwards. Your parents are trying to make up for the future that they won't have with you. You're leaving them. And they're trying to make sure that you know that they love you so much. And I want you to accept them for all of their faults. Know that they love you. They're behaving this way because they already miss you, even though you're here. Stop that, Krista. It's only a couple more weeks before you leave. Give them your time. They love you, and that's what they're trying to show you. It's been rewarding for me to watch you all these years, though for some of you, it does not really seem to hit home how long it's been until I see your pictures from the years past or try to remember things that happened all those years ago. But at this point in your lives, you're young men and women. Gone are the days of the cracking voice and the high-pitched girly squeals. Sorry, Ahmed. You're future college students. You are adults at this point, sometimes. I and the rest of the AIS-R community wish you nothing but the best. Please don't forget about us. But go on out there and get on with it. These are your lives and it's your time. Thank you.